Hello everybody. So today I want to make a very quick video about Celsius and namely caffeine and caffeine talk. I think a lot of my viewers go and attack Celsius because it's 200 milligrams of caffeine. And it got me thinking, if I was still living in Europe, I would probably think it's a lot because in Europe I don't know if you're from Europe, I don't know where you're from, but like in France, like for example, espresso, it's espresso. And espresso is 70 or 80 milligrams, and maybe you're going to have 2 or 3 espressos a day. But of course, I've been living in the US for now, 15, 16 years, something like that. And I can tell you that caffeine here is much more common than in Europe. And it got me thinking about how much caffeine is there actually in coffees in the US, and it's pretty nuts actually. This is a Starbucks venti drink right here, a blonde roast, and of course if you're a coffee connoisseur, you likely don't like your coffee burnt, so you don't like a dark roast, you like a blonde roast. Well, guess what? Blonde roast has more caffeine. This is 475 milligrams. And I came across Reddit this article of someone ordering a venti blonde roast and talking about how they had anxiety, they had been awake for 6 or 7 hours. And yeah, because 475 milligrams of caffeine is a tremendous amount of caffeine. And it got me thinking about the coffee sizes in the US, which 16 ounces, right? That's a lot. That's the equivalent of a pint. Think about that, a pint of coffee. And of course, that's the standard drink at Starbucks. If you go to Starbucks and you don't say a size, they'll give you a 16 ounce. That's the medium. The big size at Starbucks is the venti. And the venti, of course, has tremendous calories. See, you struggle finding a venti under 300 calories, actually. I guess if you mix it with milk, you can get a little bit under there. But not even, right? Venti, you can see. So the amount of caffeine that you have in coffee in the US is just very, very, very high. And so it's a matter of understanding a different consumer than, say, the traditional espresso consumer than you would find in Italy, Spain, France, Germany, etc., etc. It is different over here. I want to point out too, it got me thinking about energy drinks themselves in the US. So you may know this, I don't know if you know this, but Starbucks actually has a fairly popular energy drink here in America. It's the double shot, as they call it, and the double shot has 225 milligrams of caffeine. That's still more than Celsius. And of course, the European counterpart, Red Bull, which is very popular in Europe, it has less caffeine, 140 or 110 or 77 milligrams. So one has to wonder whether the energy drinks are customized based on the preferences of quote-unquote awakeness or coffee habit. I want to talk about Monster briefly. You can see Monster, quite frankly, it's a little less than Celsius, but it's got quite a lot of energy at 160 milligrams of caffeine. Dutch Brothers, right, a chain that is very popular around here right now. It literally blocks the roads sometimes, so long the lines are very popular among Gen Z. These Dutch Brother coffee shops, you can see they literally market the drinks as an iced double torture freeze, and 280 milligrams. And this is a brand that's very, very popular among the youth. And it also got me thinking about the Celsius has too much caffeine debate that has been going on in the comments section. And I think it may be also a matter of individual responsibility in addition to the consumer's habit to caffeine. And as I've stated before, I actually consume Celsius, but I don't consume the cans. I consume the powder pack, a 14 on-the-go powder pack that I buy on Amazon. It's like $9, and I greatly dilute my Celsius. And I think a lot of original users of Celsius, they just get the powder pack and dilute it, and you kind of have to fit it to your own caffeine habit, right? Your own caffeine habit is going to differ based on people, but obviously, if you're you're used to European coffee sizes and you land in an American Starbucks and you start ordering a Trenta. The Trenta is 31 ounce, it's on the secret menu, and you start ordering a Trenta blonde roast. Well, guess what? A simple rule of three tells me the Trenta blonde roast would probably have 600 milligrams of caffeine. Yeah, anybody would feel jittery going through such a change. So that's the point I want to make. Caffeine is really, really, really high. And the last point I'll make is that it's not new. This has actually been around for a long time, this debate about portion sizes, and sugar content, of course, has been the long-standing debate. How much sugar should you have? How much sugar is there in a drink? Popular on social media, popular culture, everybody now kind of is very careful with sugar. Caffeine may be that way one day, and it's true that someone pointed out in the comment section that we may be nearing peak caffeine. I could see that point too. I mean, at what point is too much caffeine? But do you? I don't know if you know this, and of course, I have about 40% of my viewers who live in the U.S., so you'll be familiar with that if you live in the U.S. But imagine filling a soda like a Pepsi Max, for example, the soda that has the most caffeine, or a Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew has something like 55 milligrams of caffeine per 12-ounce cans. Imagine filling up a double gulp out of Mountain Dew, which is about a 2 liter. That's a 2 liter soda. Imagine filling that up with Mountain Dew. Of course, you're going to outcompete with the biggest drink at Starbucks. You even have brands like Sonic, for example, who are kind of known, or at least back in the early 2010s, were kind of known for being crazy and having crazy drinks. And one of them was the Route 44, and it brings up memories from my college days, and about wondering, having just landed here, wondering how big can this drink be. It's like amazing. I mean, it's crazy, but it's just the way it is. You also start seeing caffeine in chocolate bars. That's also another trend right now. I've seen bakeries put caffeine powder in their cakes. You have caffeine pills. Caffeine is a very popular compound. It's a matter of personal preference. And so again, I don't have much of a point in this video. Today I'm very busy. This is the only video I can make. But I don't think it's that big of a problem. 200 milligram caffeines, you're actually not that high. And if you buy the Celsius cans, you may notice especially if you get the bigger format than this one, they say 1 a day. Celsius writes that on their bigger Celsius, their kind of boost Celsius. They write no more than 1 a day because there's more than 200 milligrams of caffeine. So I think a lot of this criticism may be a little out of place. This is all I think. It's a matter of personal preference. Yes, caffeine drinks for Celsius in the US are high. Caffeine content for the competitors of Celsius are high too, and this is just the way it is. So no investment advice, no financial advice as usual, no caffeine advice here. But I just wanted to set the record and just highlight these differences. Please like, please subscribe. Very short video today. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.